Alright, folks, welcome back. It is day 191 with Duolingo Japanese. Once again, MAKU desu. Minasan, konnichiwa. Yokoso. I don't know why I reversed that one. Interesting. Okay, it's a new vocab day. Exciting, right? Always nice to have new vocab day. Wait, I only have 3 hearts. Feels bad, man. Alright. So, let's quickly go over our units. I think I'm pretty set on the units. And then get ready for some new vocab day. Okay, so lots of grammar reminder stuff. Okay, let's start with the vocab. Heijitsu. Heijitsu. Ugh. Ototoi. Ototoi. Sugu. Sugu. Soji. Soji. Japanese is early today? Yeah, today is our Shashinko rest day player. So today's day 4. So we take a rest day from Shashinko to give a little bit of space. Yeah, no Shashinko today. Let's see. Sentaku. Sentaku. Denki. My hand's still wobbling a little bit from left to right. Denki. Okay. So now let's do our day form examples. So we have a Ichidan. Akete. Akete. Shimete. Shimete. Skete. Skete. Habite. Habite. Habete. 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 Okay. We have our goal. Our Goldons. Tate. Tate. Kaete. 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 I think I'm gonna double check on this stroke order. Because it might be the one stroke below, then cross through, and then... and then the final stroke. So let's double check. No, it's actually the... okay, it's actually... oh, wait. Wait a minute. Oh, maybe I did get them confused. I was correct. Wait. Oh, now I'm just confused. Oh, did I get... I think I might have gotten Hanze and Kanji mixed up. Hold up. Did I actually get them backwards? Ain't no way. Did I get them backwards? Hold up. I got them backwards. Oh no. Oh no. Oh yeah, I did. I think I got them backwards. It's fine. It's fine. We'll rectify this situation. It's okay. I remember. I remember. Suwate. Suwate. It's okay. I'm a little shaken. It's okay. Not the end of the world. Or is it? Nah, we're fine. So, we have... kaite. Kaite. And... Yonde. 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 Nonde. Nonde. I think those are it. And then we have our irregular. Our only example of irregular so far. Shite. Shite. And then we have our progressive. Progressive polite with imas. And imasen. Also, ii desu ka? Sore kara? Sore kara? Also have the stem of sore kara, which was kind of cool. And then it also works with te, so you can still do like te form, which is interesting too. Tense is determined at the end, so I that's kind of the stuff that I already knew. Just making sure to keep all the stuff in mind. Okay, and then last time for unit 43. We're leaving unit 43 behind. What was unit 43? Was it still position? Probably still position. Oh, no, wait. Go look. Stay where things are. Oh, it is position. Come on. This plugin. Maybe we need to look for a new plugin. Okay, so unit 43 is still position. Work on. It's kind of specific to Duolingo, I think. So, ue, kita. Ooh. I don't want to talk about it. Miki. Hidari. Aida. Ushiro. Mae. Naka. Naka. Yoko. Ugh. Tonari. Taiwan. Taiwan. 한국인. 한국인. 네? Yes. Oops. Ryoko. Ryoko. I'm kind of trying to speed up. Omiyage. Don. Atasumi. Atasumi. Sumi. Agami. Reizouko. Reizouko. Ondana. Satsu. Isatsu. Nansatsu. Nanasatsu. Asatsu. Kyusatsu. Kyusatsu. Forgot these yesterday. kitanai. Ugh, that could look better. It's fine. Nagai. And hikui. Hikui. Alright, that's it. Alright, let's get into it. New vocab day. We're gonna talk about hobbies again. I'm gonna convert all our hobby vocabulary. How many lessons? 6. Well, that's still down from 7. Oh, alright. Let's get a guidebook first. Do you listen to music? Ongaku. Oh, hey, ongaku. Oh, wait. Yeah, ongaku uses... Oh, that's interesting. So it's using yin, yin yuan, yin yue, right? It's using in as well, but then they replace ye, which is pretty common. One of the characters are gonna be swapped out. So yin yue. So you got the in, and then you're using tanoshi, the same character from Tanoshi. All right. So that's ongaku. Ongaku wa kikimasu ka? And it looks like the character for kiku. Ki is the same character, the right kanji for shinbun, or newspaper. So ongaku wa kikimasu ka?
音楽は聴きますか?
Okay. Then ongaku wa amari kikimasen. Okay. Fair enough. Same characters. I swam a lot today. Okay. Oh yeah, this is where like the yeah, the little swap up on the water character. Oyobu. No wait. Oyogu, right? No. It's Oyogu, right? Yeah, Oyogu. Yeah. So Oyogu, it looks like water and a watermarks with a modified water and an extra slash. That's also something that we can use to remember ice. Someone mentioned kori, the difference between kori and bing, right? So, 今日はたくさん泳ぎました. So we got water.
今日はたくさん泳ぎました.
泳ぎました. So we got 泳ぐ now. She does not run a lot. 走る. And hashiru uses the same. Interesting. They use the hanzu for walk. Well, that's a little confusing. That's fine. We'll remember it. That's Joel for walk. So 彼女はあまり走りません。
彼女はあまり走りません。
Yeah, 走りません. Okay. I will write a letter to my friend. We already have kakimasu. One of them is it's not letter. I'm not sure. I think letter is a new one for me. And then there's tomodachi. So tomodachi ni it's in Shashinko though. Oh, you know what? Oh, that's so interesting. I told myself I would have trouble remembering this character. in Chinese yesterday. What was it used for? It's fine. We'll find out soon.
友達に手紙を書きます。
Tegami. Okay, tegami. Tegami o kakimasu. So you have the han, right? You have han and gami. Probably something to do with paper.
友達に手紙を書きます。
Tegami. Tegami o kakimasu. Alright. Oh no. It's old Falstaff. It's it's early gen Falstaff. Oh no. I think Falstaff is far more adorable. I mean, this guy kind of has its charm, you know? It's okay, letter home. It's nice to be nice to other people. When doing something for someone else, you can say ni after the person, yeah. Yep. Kino okasan ni tegami o kakimashita. Alright. Okay, let's get in here. Hobbies.
書きません。
Kakimasen. Okay.
書きました。水曜日。
There's definitely a reason why they decide to choose suyobi, because we already know they're gonna do oyogu. They could have chosen any day of the week, but they chose suyobi because sui is going to be involved, like the character itself. So spoilers. Oh hey, eiga. We already have eiga from Kashinko. So eiga.
映画。
And then mimashita. Short. Kakimashita. Or kakimasu. Kakimasen.
書きません。
え
映画。
Eiga. Eiga.
映画。映画。映画。
Okay.
映画。
Eiga. That's a interesting way to illustrate movie, but I get it. Got it. Oh, Eiga-kan. They didn't convert Eiga-kan yet. We know Eiga-kan as well.
映画は見ますか？
Eiga wa mimasu ka? I don't. I was thinking about C. Like how would that work? I feel like you could kind of also say that too.
新しい本を書きました。
Atarashi hon o kakimashita. You don't get to say that very often. I wrote a new book. I would like to say that one day.
この本を書きませんでした。この本
を
この本を書きませんでした。
書きませんでした。
書き
書き
ません
た。ね？
この本を書きませんでした。この本を書きませんでした。
で
し
した。この本を書きませんでした。
アニメを見ますか？
アニメを見ますか？
新しい本を書きましたか？
書きましたか？新しい本を書きましたか？
書きましたか？
新しい本を書きましたか？
映画を見に行きます。
映画を見に行きます。Oh, okay, they're bringing back the phrase of going to do something. So, going X. So, I'm going to see a movie. Yeah, see, that's what I mean about the miru. You could, I'm pretty sure they would have accepted it. Do you see movies as opposed to do you watch movies? Because miru is flexible enough to say see or watch. And this is mini, or mini, the stem form next to iku to say you're going to do something. Although you still could say mimas and it'll still be okay. I'm going to watch a movie anyways. Eiga o mini ikimasu. Right. Either.
見ました
Mimashita.
見ました毎年 映画
Mite. There's mite. So now we know, now they're weaving in the te form, right? The te form. Mite. Miru. Miru. So mite is in ichidan, right? Miru. So mite would be mite. Mite would be the te form.
見ました 書きました
Tokidoki.
時々
Did I remember to write Tokidoki? I did not remember to write Tokidoki as a part of our phasing out unit. Unit 43 introduced Tokidoki. Tokidoki.
映画を見ます
I'm going to see a movie, right? Let's say
映画
映画を見に行きます No grammar.
習いません
Naraimasen. Oh, okay, that's a new one. Naraimasen. Not the vocabulary, but the kanji. I have not gotten those combinations of radicals yet. Naraimasen.
習いません
Okay. Oh, hey, utau. We have utau as well to sing. Nice. So, utaimashita.
歌いました
And what is this? Tegami.
手紙
Tegami.
習います 読みません
Naraimashita.
手紙
Tegami. Before Shashinko. Tegami is one of the kanji that we'll eventually get to because we have a mailbox. We have a mailbox to get to.
見ました
Mimashita.
手紙読みません 歌いました
Where I got to this in Shashinko. Okay.
習います
Naraimasu. Okay.
手紙
Tegami.
歌
Uta. A song. Uta. Okay.
歌手紙を読みます
Tegami o yomimasu. Okay. Future. Sure. Non-pass.
何を習いますか
Nani o naraimasu ka? Okay, so they're using it for learning. Sure. Naraimasu. That is one of the many. That is one of the multiple meanings. Nani o naraimasu ka? Eh. Can I attach the kanji to a sense of learning? Oh, actually I can. Yeah. This is thanks to Chinese actually. So this character is xi. So 学习. Right. This is the joy of having multiple languages and two languages that are connected. I imagine it's going to be I'm kind of curious if it's going to be similar when I go into Spanish, but 学习, this is to study. So if you're studying, you're also learning, right? It's one of the components, and there's two of them on top. I don't know how I'm going to connect it with the bottom character, this one, but there's double downing. So I'll at least remember the top. Nani o, it might be enough, actually. Nani o naraimasu ka? Okay.
日本語を習います。日本語を
習います。Okay. 日本語を
習います。日本語を習います。
新聞を読みますか？
There's Shinbun. Of course, they would include Shinbun right before they introduce the other use for Shinbun, which I probably have forgotten for the time being. Oh, kakimasu. Or not. No, kikimasu. So they're introducing newspaper again, just so that you don't forget that there's already a vocab assigned to it. So, Shinbun o yomimasu ka? And it's kind of clever because they still end up using something that deals with the theme. I like it. Shinbun o yomimasu ka?
昨日はたくさん歌いました。
Okay. 昨日はたくさん歌いました。No.
歌は歌いません。
歌は and they introduce uta because it's also the same relationship. So you have uta for like song, and then utau for sing. So when you need a subject attached to something. Shinbun would be the subject attached to sort of to kiku. Although you don't listen to the newspaper, but sometimes you listen to the news, so that's close enough.
歌は歌いません。
歌は what? 歌は something.
歌は歌いません。
Oh, 歌いません。
ません。歌は歌いません。
I don't sing songs. Wait. I don't sing the songs? I do not sing songs. Okay.
歌いません。
Okay. It's an awkward sentence, obviously. However, it's showing that it's the same character, right? Implicitly, it's showing the same.
歌いません。
In case it wasn't obvious.
歌いません。歌いません。
I want to say it's probably obvious, but then again, when I was playing video games, like I was looking at explicit as explicit as possible without being like literal explicit is probably the closest thing. Some people want everything to be written in stone. 歌えません。
歌いません。
読みます。
読みます。
Okay.
歌
歌は歌えます。歌えません。
歌います。
僕 okay, fine.
僕の
僕の手紙僕の手紙を
彼女
を僕の手紙Wait, she does not.
は
彼女は手紙の僕の手紙を Tegami o yomimasen.
Yomi. Mase.
That took me a little bit. 彼女は僕の手紙を読みません。It's pretty tame so far. Pretty tame.
散歩
Sampo. To walk. To go, like, it's a walk. Sampo. That's kind of funny. So, the reason why they're setting up Sampo, because they're going to introduce Hashiru, right, to run. So they also do complementaries. If you're gonna learn run, you're gonna also learn walk. That's their other strategy a lot of times. So sampo, to walk. And you can technically put sampo. Sampo is also a suru thing. So you can sampo suru to go on a walk. Or to walk. Sampo suru. At least. And interesting enough, the right character is preserved and then the left is different. Oh, interesting. Between Chinese and Japanese. Sampo. But here's the catch. The right one is a similar character used for running. So what happened there? What happened there, Japanese and Chinese? What happened? Running is walking and walking is running. Not confusing at all, right? Not confusing at all. It's actually kind of a fun way to remember it. So the question is, which point of reference am I going to use? Sanpo.
散歩
It's not exactly the same, so it's not that. Sampo is not as egregious or not right. You don't have you have other context clues for sampo. You don't have any other context clues for walking in Chinese and running in Japanese. Oh wait, you kind of have some context because you'll have a hirakana. You'll have an ending, but for the most part, hashiru will have an ending that's in hirakana, so that's enough to give it away for context.
散歩
Sanpo.
書きません
Kakimasen. Oh, we got the other kakimasen. Thanks to Shashinko. So this is the other kakimasen. So now we have both the kakus. The one for like drawing and painting, and one a little bit more nuanced for writing. But writing can kind of blend with both, but this is the other kaku. So largely for drawing and stuff. So kakimasen. Not to be confused with kakimasen. Now we have two kakimasen, but now we don't have to worry about which one they're referring to. Okay.
散歩
That's new. Oh, but that's not new. Shashinko. That's asobu. No, abimasu. Sorry. No. Sorry. Yeah, it's asobu. Yeah, asobu. So this is asobimasen. To hang out, or to go out, or to play. It's not necessarily go out, it's to hang out or to play. Asobu. So asobimasu.
遊びません
So we don't need to asobimasen. We don't need to remember that kanji as well. We have a lot of carryover now. Kashinko really does cover a lot of the common ones, actually.
遊びません
Asobimasen. That one looks new. So we have something interesting. Eh? Oh, to draw. That's to complement kaku.
え
Eh? Or picture. Picture and image. I don't see how that's related to a picture or like a painting or something. I have to be a little clever about that. Those two are not radicals that jump out at me. Or painting or something. However, we have kaku, so that's why they're introducing makes sense.
書きます
Kakimasu, this kaku. Kakimasu. Okay.
え
Eiga.
書きません
Kakimasen.
書きません書きません
So I can already think of the storyboard we're going to be doing. We're going to have all the objects and all the predicates on one side because it looks like they're pairing up objects for all the predicates that they're introducing. And then those predicates have like predicate and object has a hobby feel to it, right? Writing a book, watching a movie. We're going to get listening to music probably because we already got ongaku from a guidebook. So all your usual suspects. Painting or drawing a picture,
書きません
which is coming up
散歩しま
probably.
す
Sanpo shimasu, and going on walks and running and swimming. Sanpo shimasu. I go on walks. Yep. Sanpo shimasu. Suru. So that's a suru use. We do have also the predicate for walking. So to like walking predicate. So they might introduce that too. Sanpo shimasu as a contrast. This is I go on walks I do walks or I perform walks as opposed to I walk.
映画はあまり見ません
Eiga wa yeah, and then we already got miru for watching. Eiga wa amari mimasen. Right. I do not watch movies a lot, I guess. Or no, sorry, amari. I do not like to watch. No. I do not really like. Oh my goodness. I do not watch a lot of movies. Oh, jeez. Sorry, there are so many ways to express eiga, like in English. Eiga wa amari mimasen. I don't watch a lot of movies. I mean, that's fair. Right. I was gonna say I don't really watch movies. That's another one. I do not really watch movies. I think this is fine. Or I was gonna say something that maybe I do not really like watching movies or like to watch movies. That's also a thing. Sort of. Kind of all reasonable like interpretations. It's not literal translation. Like, sentiment is. Nah, not really. Movies aren't for me. I don't really watch them. I do not watch a lot of movies. Okay, sure. I think.
今日は彼女と遊びます
今日は彼女とyeah 彼女と遊びます and they're being using it as her, hanging out with her, as opposed to 彼女, a girlfriend, which is still a girl, a person, a friend that is a girl. So technically you can still say 彼女. So like I don't hang out with my girlfriend instead. But a friend who happens to be a girl a lot of times. 今日は彼女と遊びます I will? Okay, sure. Future. I will play with her today. That is a very weird way to say that, but all right. They're referring to a doggo, okay? You know, a doggo. Female doggo. Right? I'm just kidding. But, not enough context. 今日は彼女と遊びます. Yeah. I'll play with her today. Maybe a playmate? Kiddos? You know? You know?
昨日は友達と遊びました。
Okay.
昨日
は友達と遊びました。
昨日は友達と遊びました。
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 遊びました。
手紙はあまり書きません。
手紙はあまり書きません。Okay. Alright. I guess they're sticking with that.
絵を描きます。
Yeah, there it is. 絵を描きます。There it is. 絵を描きます。
よく絵を描きます。
よく絵をsorry よく絵を描きます。
描きます。
絵を
何の絵を描きますか？
何を絵を描きますか？ What picture you will draw? Okay, sure.
何の絵を描きますか？
Wait, are you saying 何の?
何の絵を描きますか？
Wait, are you actually saying 何の? Ooh. That might be a grammar point, actually. It becomes none when it's followed by... At first I thought they might have said nani, but nano. Interesting. I might have to keep my head on for that one.
何の絵を描きますか？
Okay. 何の絵を描きますか? English.
遊びました。
English.
遊びました。
Like in English, it's always English. 遊びます。 Like in English. I'm telling you, 99% of the errors I make is because of English.
散歩描きます。
習います。遊びません。
散歩はあまりしません。
Oh boy, here we go again. Yeah, that's another way to say that. Sure. Sure.
何の絵を描きますか？
I don't like you either, okay? Okay.
Get more with Super Duolingo.
Get more with soup.
聞きました。
Right. 聞きました. Listen.
泳ぎました。
泳ぎました. There we go. And we completed it. 泳ぎません.
泳ぎません。
泳ぎません.
きます
kikimasu. Introducing us to the various like conjugations, which we know pretty well at this point.
聞きました 歌いました 泳ぎました 聞きません
And there's
音楽
ongaku.
泳ぎました
Oyogimashita.
泳ぎました
音楽
Ongaku.
音楽
Ongaku.
泳ぎません。
Oyogimasen. Okay. Okay.
プールで泳ぎます
Okay.
プー
Puru.
ル
Yeah. Puru de oyogimasu.
泳ぎます
A place to swim?
毎日泳ぎます
Mainichi oyogimasu.
音楽は聴きますか？
Ongaku wa kikimasu ka? Mhm.
週末は音楽を聴きます。
週末は音楽を聴きます。音楽を聴きます。
そのニュースを聞きましたか？
Oh, there's news. Yep. There it is. そのニュースを聞きましたか? That you don't read newspapers, right? So they have to make that connection between the newspaper, and listening because the character is connected that way. So one extra step, but not too bad. I was expecting news to show up. So そのニュースを書きましたか? Hear the news? Yeah, fair enough. Maybe do you listen to the news is okay. But it's kind of interesting that they went with the news where they have sono news, right? But I guess that's fine.
音楽
Ongaku.
音楽
Are they gonna debate me into no?
そのニュース
Sono news o ikimasu ka? Kikimashita ka? No, yeah, kikimashita ka?
聞きましたか
It's always worth to check the tense. Occasionally, they might switch the tense on you and kind of get triggered. Kakimashita ka? Puru de oyogimasu. Puru de oyogimasu.
プールで泳ぎ
Oyogimasu. Eh. Alright.
写真
Shashin. Oh, hey, shashin. Shashingo. Right? Shashin. Oh, maybe we're gonna get, oh, we could get Toru. There's a chance we might get Toru as well. Photography stuff, like taking pictures and stuff as a hobby. There's Shashin. Okay, Shashin.
写真2枚
Nimai. That kind of looks like a counter, but maybe not. This is new. This is a new vocabulary. Nimai. I don't know what that is yet.
2枚
Nimai. Not yet.
写真
And then we have Hashiru. So, Hashirimasen.
走りません遊びません
Oops, asobimasen. Ooh, oh, there it is. So we got toru as well. Torimashita to take a picture.
撮りました。
Torimashita. That's right on cue, which Shashinko has blessed us already.
2枚。
Imai. So we don't need to
Nimai.
learn those again.
走ります。
Hashirimasu. Whoops. Hashirimasu. Okay.
2枚。 撮りました。
Torimashita.
写真。 走りません。
Hashirimasen.
走りました。
Hashirimashita.
走りました。
Okay.
写真
Sashi.
走りません。
Hashirimasen. Okay.
昨日は走りました。
Kino.
昨日は
wa hashirimashita.
走り。
Hashirimashita.
昨日は走りました。
Hashirimashita.
パンを2枚ください。
Okay, that is a counter. Or it kind of looks like round things.
2枚。
Oh, slices, flat things. Okay. Bun, I was thinking like a bun, but I forgot about bread slices. I was thinking like a loaf or like a round brown bun like thing. Man, tells you how un-Americanized I am, right? Whenever I think of bread, I don't think of slices of bread. I think of whole loaves and buns. Okay. Pano. So, okay, so flat things. Pano nimai. Nimai kudasai.
2枚。
Nimai. So we got a new counter. I don't know if there is any way for me to shortcut mine. No. It's just nondescript. It's a nondescript counter. I got nothing. Nimai. Gonna have to remember it. So 2 slices of bread, please. Very awfully specific.
写真を100枚撮ります。
Sashino 100枚取ります。
写真を100枚撮ります。
Okay, 100 stays the same. So Sashino 100枚取ります。Wow. I will take 100 pictures. Dang. That's a lot of pictures.
写真を200枚撮りました。写真
写真を100
100
枚100枚
写真を200枚撮りました。2
200枚200枚
撮り
取りました。
今ま
取り
し
ました。写真を200枚取りました。
写真を200枚撮りました。
200枚取りました。
写真を200枚撮りました。
時々写真を撮ります。
時々写真を撮ります。Okay. And there's another layer here. They're using shashin to be interpreted and translated as pictures. And they introduce at the same time, which can be also a picture, but more of a drawing picture. So they're doing that intentionally too, where there's like overlapping of things that can be slightly similar. I'm not sure if they introduced and shashin together. I think they might have before as well, when it was just hirakana for the most part. So it's a repeat, right? Now with kanji. She runs every day. 毎日 彼女は毎日、yeah. 彼女は毎日走ります。
毎日。彼女は
彼女は毎日走ります。
走ります。
Do you want me to say 彼? Okay. 彼はいつも写真を撮ります。
彼はいつも
いつも写真を撮ります。
撮ります。
Okay. We have extra 15 minutes, so ooh, that's a lot of new characters. Although they're not really all that new anymore because of
映画
Shashinko.
映画
映画
One of the first.
映画
映画
So this is more like
映画。
you might be thinking like, oh, so then you're wasting your time looking at. I need to double check all the stroke orders. Over time,
映画
my stroke order might bleed into something else. So
映画
this is a great way to refresh to make sure my stroke orders are
映画
still correct. And then maybe my lengths, because I'm paying more attention to lengths now, like straight vertical and horizontal strokes. They can vary in length relative to each other. So it's a good way to refresh that too.
映画
Okay. Yeah, this stroke order,
映画。
occasionally I'm not sure if it's correct or not. So
映画
this
映画
verifies
映画
it again for me.
映画
Once again,
映画
always worth double checking if your complacency
映画
for your complacency.
映画。
映画
映画映画
Oops. Released my pen there unintentionally. Okay. Ega.
映画。
Ega.
映画映画
映画
映画
映画。
映画
映画映画映画
Right? Denki. Interesting. Oh. Wait. Ninki. Denki. Oh, so that also, interesting.
映画
The multiple meanings.
電気
Denki. Okay. Eiga.
布団 映画 本棚 新聞電気
電気。
電
気。
映画
映画。
電気
電気
電気電気新聞椅子映画本
棚
映画
ね
えい
Whoops.
えい映画
Okay.
旅行人気電気映画布団
電気
電気
台所、
台所、
人気、
人気、
映画、
映画、
新聞、
新聞、
電気、
電気。Alright.
Get more with
Get more with soup.
飴。
飴? Interesting.
映画
I was thinking they maybe a. Hello there, Sally. Hello, hello. Nice to see ya. 映画、
飴。
飴。
飴、
映画映画
I can kind of see it. Kind of.
外、映画、飴、車、牛
牛
乳、
乳。I almost said 牛奶。
映画、
映画、
雨
飴。Okay. Alright.
映画、家、弟、飴、
姉妹、
姉妹、
飴、
姉妹。
映画、
映画、映画、
彼、
彼、彼、
飴、
飴、
車、
車、
布団、
飴、
映画、
映画。
映画。
Ooh. Gotta be careful. Fat fingering two keys here.
映画
映画、
Did you know any kanji before you start learning Japanese? Nope. I believe you speak a Chinese dialect, right? I do.
映画
我講福州話。
映画、
映画。映画。
映画
映画、
And yeah, I was illiterate in Japanese
映画
before I started.
映画、
映画
映画、
映画、
映画。
映画。
Alright.
映画。
映画
映画、
映画
映画、
映画
Mm-hmm.
映画、
映画。映画。
Alright.
英語
英語。
映画
I can see that. The same radical on the bottom.
映画、
Okay. 英語。
英語、
英語
A. It's red. Yeah. Interesting.
映画。
I see why they chose 英語 as well.
映画。 映画。
Yeah. That's interesting. They're both A. Huh. I didn't quite make that connection before.
子猫、
kodomo. Oh, koneko. Whoops. Koneko.
飴、英語、
Oh. Oh, you. Oh, they got me. They got me. All right.
映画、
I didn't even bother reading the rest. You got me.
2歳、
Nisai.
映
Way
画。
to go. Way to go. You got me, Duolingo.
英語、
That was gonna happen.
英語、
Had to double check.
飴、映画、2時、英語、2000、
英語。
Which one? It's top down, so that's okay.
両親、
両親。where 両親。
大学、
大学。
映画、
映画。
英語、
英語。
1分、
1分。Okay. Just gotta double check.
映画
Okay. They got me. They got me.
映画
Caught me using shortcuts. Being lazy.
映画、
映画
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 映画、映画、
映画
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 Fine. Tegami. Tegami.
手紙
手紙
Fair enough. Hmm.
手紙
手紙
It's gonna be tough for me.
Tegami.
手紙、
What kind of mnemonic can I give this?
手紙
Something that's related to.
手紙
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 There is something with this, and then there is something with this as well. However, they're
Tegami.
not. They're a little too far from Tegami.
手紙
手紙、
Oops.
手紙、
Trope direction.
手紙
Eh? Uta. Uta.
歌
歌
Alright. Ga. Uta.
歌、歌、
歌
歌
Oops. Didn't complete the slide
Uta.
there. Oops.
歌
I lifted my pen a little too quick.
歌
歌
Uta.
歌、歌、
歌
歌
歌
Get more with Super.
Get more with soup. Alright. Tegami.
手紙
手紙
手紙、
Shoal. Alright. Shoal.
手紙、
手紙
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 手紙、手紙、
手紙
Ega.
映画
Okay. Ega.
映画、映画、
映画
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 映画、映画、
Oh, it's toilet paper? Oh, yeah, yeah. Actually, Lotus told me that. Yeah. Lotus told me that. Yeah, toilet paper. Yeah, Tegami, letter and toilet paper. it's quite a lot of fun. There are some weird ones. Yeah, toilet paper is definitely one that some people mentioned. Second toilet paper. Imagine. Oh, and it was in a video too. It was in a video from some people. this guy was trying to get Chinese people to read Japanese. Yeah, it's hand paper, but yeah, it makes sense for both. Yeah, yep, hand paper, indeed.
手紙
Tegami. And Tegami.
手紙
There was a video where the guy was trying to get
手紙
native Chinese people to read Japanese, and one of them was Tegami. It was they were giving like news headlines and whatnot, and
手紙
toilet paper was brought up in that video as well.
手紙
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 手紙手紙
It's confusing but quite fun. Yeah, I actually think I actually use the relationships, both different and similar, to my advantage. It helps me remember things.
手紙
So as opposed to like trying to forget them or trying to sort them out, they become advantages. Like for example, just this unit, my 15 minutes are up. So just this unit, Hashiru was introduced, right? And Hashiru is actually the character for walk. Joel. Like Jamajo, to walk. But Hashiru is run. And Sampo is closer to Paobu than, and Sampo is walk, and Paobu is run. So yeah, you have those happen a lot of times, but it'll be it's kind of because of their subtle contextual differences and similarities, you can remember them if you remember the other. Oh, there, Matthias. Sample sounds like, yeah, that's sample. Yep, that's sample. Okay. Sample is sample. Yeah, sampu. Yeah, in Chinese, exactly. Isn't it funny? That's I think it's hilarious. Like, if you like Japanese, you know, you gotta also give Chinese a chance. If you like Chinese, you gotta give Japanese. It's like, and if you like language learning, of course, I think it's a lot of fun finding all the weird connections and all that. Yeah, 何の絵をは描きますか? Yeah. What did I do here? Oh, because I can't English anymore. I can no longer English. You have been learning Chinese for like 3 years, still intermediate? That sounds amazing though. 3 years, way to go. Want to learn Japanese as well, but need to get better at Chinese first? That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. I usually do the thing where when I get very comfortable with something, I layer on top of something. So if I get really comfortable with learning Japanese, then I'll layer on Chinese. And when I get very comfortable into like a kind of a steady state and I'm not being like creative on how I'm learning Japanese and Chinese, then I'll add something else to the fold. The idea is that I keep myself not feeling like I'm resting on staying the same. So that's why I started Chinese when I started Chinese. It was about 4 months into Japanese. And then Chinese, Spanish has probably come into Chinese when Chinese hit about half a year, probably. It's how I'm feeling right now. We swapped up the way we learn Japanese recently because of how Duolingo swapped it up. and we're also using Shashinko, like another game, and we're doing like video games now with Japanese. And then Chinese will probably phase in like something else too, maybe some video game related thing. At some point after 6 months, we'll have games that are trilingual, as in a game that I really like, a game series that I really like. Before I started language learning, was dubbed and written in 3 different languages. So that includes Japanese, Chinese, and English. And I played through it in English, and I'm gonna go back and probably play. I've usually listened to the language, but I haven't really read or comprehend the language. Yeah, they've been part of my life for a while now. That's kind of how I go about it. Usually it's not determined on how competent I am. I swap it up due to the learning process. Maybe a little bit less about my competence. You know, I focus quite a lot on motivations and the learning itself, as opposed to the content.
見ました。
Imashita. That's like most of the reason why I stream this stuff.
何人
Nani.
Ban
Oh, ban. I immediately look at the right and thought of Ito for not related reasons.
映画 書きまし
Kakimashita. Ongaku.
音楽。音楽はあまり聞きません。
Ongaku wa amari kikimasen. Definitely different from ting, and you get the left in ye. So in is still there, but ye disappeared. Instead, it's substituted with a character for Tanoshi, which is to have fun, like is fun. So I kind of think of it as fun music, because the left side is telling me it's related to music, and then the right side is telling me it's something fun. So music is kind of nice. Ongaku amari kikimasen. Listen. I listen to a lot of music. Okay. With
歌
that,
散歩はあまりしません。
traditional version of it is very similar, you think? Yeah, generally speaking, Japanese is yeah, like that's a possibility too. Yeah. Yep. Like the right character might end up being a simplified character, and then the Japanese version might be closer. Yeah. Like Kwaila. Yeah, Kwaila. Kwaila. And the is that still read as la, or is that read as yeah in the second part, or Kwaila de la? You speak Guarani, a language from Paraguay. Many people say that it sounds similar to Japanese. Oh, that's interesting. It's love, but the character is the same with Inge. No, I know that. I know that. Yeah, but you're supposed to tell me like that's the reason why I asked, because Inge and Kwaila, La and Ye are 2 different reads of the same character. So that's because I haven't seen it written as Kwaila de La, right? It could be Kwaila de Ye. I wouldn't know. And yes, I know that La and Ye are the same read. That's largely why I asked. Interesting. A language that sounds like Japanese from the other side of the ocean. I don't know. I didn't learn enough kanji yet to know what the onyomi for that character is. The only one that I have right now for that character, actually, I haven't encountered that character, so I don't actually know any reads for that character yet. But I could imagine there's an onyomi for la, possibly. Yeah, probably not, because yeah is a sound that is very weird. How would you write yeah in Japanese? Well, what was the closest sound for that? For yeah. I don't know. There, probably there for love. Or yeah, probably. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'll tell you when I find out. I'm gonna make a note to myself and listen to Urani, this language later to see if it sounds like Japanese. Matias. I also speak a dialect of Mandarin that some people say it does kind of sound like something else and not Mandarin. It sounds closer to some other stuff. Maybe like something very Southeast Asian. It has more tones than Mandarin. Maybe closer to like the stuff that people think of when they think of like Thai and stuff. Let's see. What do we got? Sampo. Sampo wa arimashimasen. Amari shimasen. Okay. Sampo. Okay. 映画。
映画。
朝ごはんはいつもパンを1枚食べます。
朝ごはんはいつもパンを oh no. What was that? 一枚食べます。Right? 一枚。
1枚。
Okay. Not 一枚。There's a chance it was gonna end up being 一枚, but 一枚. Alright. 朝ごはんはいつもパンを一枚食べます。Okay. I always eat exactly one slice of bread for breakfast. Exactly one slice. Your dictionary says is the Japanese kanji version of both characters, by the way, so it's both and neither. Your dictionary says it's the Japanese kanji version for both characters. Okay. So it's both. I'm not sure about neither. What do you mean by it's neither? So you have so they say it's yeah and la. Like there's a sound for yeah and la for that character? Oh, there are Japanese use that character, but they don't have the sound yeah and la. I'm really confused by how you say it's both and neither. I always eat one slice of bread for breakfast. Exactly one slice.
手紙を書いています。
手紙
手紙を書いています。
を書いています。 use the telephone. I mean, it's its own character. It doesn't exist in Chinese, and used to substitute both characters. Oh, okay. So it doesn't exist in Chinese. Oh, that's interesting. It doesn't exist in Chinese. I haven't encountered that situation yet. That is cool. And it substitutes for both characters. Oh, you mean Gaku? Gaku doesn't exist? Interesting. So this Gaku right here. Oh no, that's not. Sorry. So ongaku, the Gaku doesn't exist. Like literally exists. Oh, neat. Because we already have Gaku. Or oh no, maybe it's a substitute. No, I don't actually know. I need more information.
手紙を書いています。
手紙を書いています。I'm writing a letter.
手紙はあまり書きません。
What?
手紙
手紙はあまり書きません。
書きます。ませ
Oops.
ます。手紙はあまり書きません。
手紙はあまり書きません。Imagine like simplified traditional differences, but there's Japanese versions where some of them only being used in Japan. Yeah, I got that impression. I understood that part. The thing I was talking about is I'm not sure if I don't remember what ongaku is though. If the current kanji that it's introduced in this unit, gaku is one of those characters that you're saying.
手紙はあまり書きません。写真を200枚撮りました。写真
写真を200枚撮りました。
撮りました。
I'll show you in a bit.
写真を200枚撮りました。彼女はいつも新聞を読みます。彼女は新聞を見ました。読みます。彼女はいつも新聞を読みます。いつも彼女はいつも新聞を読みます。
彼女はいつも新聞を読みます。Oh, well, I guess we're here. So, where is it? Ongaku. Where the heck is ongaku? This one. No, I think that exists. Oh no, sorry, that's my bad. Ongaku, where is it? Oh no, like this one. This character. Because ongaku, the second part of music is gaku. Eiga.
映画
映画
Oh, there are some subtle differences that I already noticed between Ryoko and
映画
Liu Xing
映画
or Liu Yao and Ryoko. It's a slight difference in stroke. Like the stroke doesn't have specific things.
歌
Like a tail.
歌
I'll
歌
address it in another 15 minutes
Uta.
here. We got 15 minutes.
歌
歌 歌、
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 歌、歌、
歌、
歌、
手紙、
手紙。手紙。
手紙、
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 Oops. Oh,
手紙、
correction.
手紙、
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 手紙。
手紙、
手紙、手紙、
So 3 years of Mandarin, and you're feeling
手紙、
like you still feel like
Tegami.
you want to learn more
Tegami.
Chinese before picking up Japanese?
手紙
Is、there a ideal time or feeling in which you would pick
Tegami.
up Japanese?
手紙、
Oops.
手
Shokoi.
紙、手紙、
Ah. I keep thinking of a different thing. Okay. Eiga.
映画、映画、
映画、
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 You want to become fluent in Chinese for career purposes. Japanese is just going to be a hobby. Ah, a career purpose. Interesting.
映画、
Oh, that certainly explains those motivations. Seems very reasonable. I take it. Understandable.
歌、
Uta. Hmm.
歌、
歌、歌、
Otherwise, you would have. Sorry, that makes sense.
歌、
I mean, that's very pragmatic.
歌、
歌、歌、
歌、
歌、
歌、歌、
歌、
歌、
I haven't met. You're probably the first one that spoke in such a direct way about
手紙、
careers based on secondary language acquisition. I might have met no. Yeah, they're more like students, young adults, exploring potential career options. But the way you said it was fairly direct and deterministic. Tegami.
手紙、
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 Oops.
手紙、
手紙、手紙、
え、
Eiga.
映画、
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 How are you
Eiga.
going about getting through
Eiga.
your intermediate studies?
映画、
To reach whatever it is that
Eiga.
you consider fluent.
映画、
How are you going about doing that right now? And how do you measure that, actually? I'm kind of curious. What do you do to measure that?
手紙、
Tegami. You're the most, outside of the 2 or 3 native Chinese speakers. Native Chinese speakers that I've had the, I guess, kind of indirect conversation with. I had conversations with 2 or 3 native Chinese speakers, and then 2 or 3 like indirect. They were just talking at me most of the time. Outside of those people, I think the vast majority of people are tangentially interested in Chinese, and you are probably the most advanced. Just it's not a big contest. Like probably the furthest along compared to like wherever I am. Well, the rest are Japanese people who are learning Japanese or have learned Japanese, and then most of the Japanese people are far more advanced than I am.
手紙
So you watch stuff with a dictionary in hand.
手紙
Alright. That sounds like it.
手紙
Do you find that how is that going?
手紙
Is that enjoyable? How often
手紙
do you do it?
手紙
Watch stuff with a
手紙
dictionary. I haven't done that yet.
手紙
Although there is very
手紙
soon in the horizon, I suppose. Soon meaning like 6 months down the road or something. I will
手紙
likely do something like that with video games. Probably.
Uta.
Among other things.
歌
歌
Are you supposed to be read in Japanese, in Chinese, or for professional things,
Uta.
or does speaking?
歌
When you're saying fluent, are you talking about speaking, writing, both? What is the proportionality? Because sometimes you
Uta.
can enter a professional field with aptitude for writing and being well read
Uta.
as opposed to speech.
歌
Which I feel like a lot of individuals would,
歌
when they talk about fluency, they're largely
Uta.
talking about speech.
歌
You used to study characters. Oh, what the heck? Lotus, where are you, Lotus? Used to study characters first, then pronunciation. Right now, I only write down the pinyin. Ah, yeah. I can see that.
手紙
I can definitely see that. I'm a fan.
手紙
手紙
Oops. Stroke order.
手紙手
I
紙
mean stroke direction.
手紙
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 Excuse me.
手紙
For you, reading is not a problem. Your brain somehow remembers the character and the pronunciation, but when I listen, my brain cannot create the meaning, so I ignore characters and it still sticks. Okay. I was talking about more well-read. Sorry, that's a terrible choice of English words. I mean, written. So, not the input side of things, the output side of things. So fluency, right? Fluency deals with the output as opposed to the input a lot of times. So I was thinking more like professional writing. So one can be incredibly great at writing, but not necessarily needing to speak, right? Like, for example, lots of native English speakers are exceptional at speaking, but they're not really well read, like written. It's a terrible turn of phrase, my bad. I meant more about professional writing. Writing is substandard. I think most people don't consider construction and constructing written creative works and professional writing as a part of fluency a lot of times. So they often, I was kind of curious if you're referring to writing or speaking or both. Shikano, what the heck? Kano, kono, koko. Josh. John. John? You're spamming. Ignore you. Oh, Lotus. That's an anime name. What about Bo? Bo 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 Bo? Have you seen the anime name Bo 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 Bo? I don't know what the pitch accent is for Bo 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 Bo, but that one, I remember seeing that on somewhere. Look it up. Just type Bo 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 a billion times, maybe like 6 or 7 times, and then anime. You might get that one too, in case you're curious. Hey, I got relatable things, okay? I'm really topical. Sanpo. You need both, to be honest, but your main focus on the spoken Chinese right now. Okay, okay.
散歩。
散歩。
I'm basically trying to like mine your career prospects without asking you for private personal information that you don't want to disclose, right? Because I'm kind of curious if you're gonna, like a translator, for example. A translator may be incredibly well read. They don't necessarily need to be very well articulated and in conversation. But then if you're an interpreter, right? If you're into interpretations, I'm using like example career paths. Interpretation, while well read is kind of a useful thing, usually it's more speaking.
散歩。
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 What do you mean? Oh, pink ghost. Oh, sample? Is this pink and ghost put together? Lotus?
散歩。
Nah, you're going for position in international companies. Oh, yeah. Sounds like you're gonna need both. Maybe a little less, so maybe like 60, like 70-30. But yeah, I can definitely see it like almost 50-50 because you're gonna have, yeah, makes sense. And I totally forgot. Oh,
散歩。
totally forgot. Lost track of myself. Sample. It just sounds like sample. Sample. I'll sample some sample.
散歩。
散歩。
Alright.
散歩。
Why does this have to be so close up there?
散歩
What the heck? It's all up in this character.
散歩。
Oops.
散歩。
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 I have no background in like international things, so
散歩。
the closest exposure I have to
Sample.
international is the university setting,
散歩。
which ultimately get normalized to
Sample.
English.
散歩。
Bo. Oh, seems to be the exact name. Okay, Bo. Okay, I see. Now there's a pink ghost in that anime you mentioned, it seems. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. So is Bo. Okay, got it. See? Alright, it's been 15 minutes. I think we're okay with the 15 minutes that we have today. It's hard to rush all the characters, but now this is where we connect all the characters. There are a lot of repeat characters with Shashinko, so hopefully we can group them together. Let's see. Let's build a storyboard now. Okay. The anime is like pretty mid, though, Lotus. Fair warning, if you're interested. It deals with a guy with extensive nose hairs. You know, the power of nose hairs. All right. Let's see. So Eiga is okay. So Eiga. Oh, you're currently watching Severin? Where are you in Severin? Yeah, Severin is my swan song. Severin is like my jam right now. Like I use that iconically to If someone wants to know me indirectly through a work, Theoden would definitely be one of them. I'm sure you can gather what my attraction and empathy is to Theoden. I'm doing pretty... are you talking about anime, or what about how about me? I'm doing pretty alright. Today's new vocab day. So let's link all these up, right? Duo has provided us something and a predicate. Something and a predicate. Which is kind of the way Shashinko works, actually. Right. So we have eiga and miru. Okay. Why is that so chunky? Why did I write it so chunky? And tegami and I guess we're doing kakarimasu. Or kaku. Oops. So we're doing kaku for that. Episode 14, they just had Dark's birthday filler episode. I see. Listen, there aren't any fillers in Theoden. You take that back. You don't understand. How dare you? How dare you call an episode a filler in Theoden? It's a slice of life. How dare you? I mean, that one does kind of feel fillery. Honestly. How do they pronounce it? Daruku. Oh, they just picked up the priest? Yeah. Yeah. I'd forgotten the priest's name as well. Let's see. And then we have G, right? G. I mean, Uta. 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 Don't at me right now, okay? So, Uta and unimaginative, I know. And then it's Utao. So we got Utao. They basically paired everything up. Utao, and then we have Sampo. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna have a trouble time remembering the this character, right? This radical. So Sampo. And Sampo, they lined up with Shiru. So we're just gonna go with Shiru. And Sampo, since we have Sampo, we also... I'm surprised they didn't introduce dance as well. Huh. Guess we'll get dance on the next one. So Sampo... Oh, maybe instead of saying Shiru, which we already know, we're gonna do Hashiru. Hashiru. Is Hashiru even listed here? No, it's not. Okay. Which is fine, because we have Chinese to the rescue. Okay. Hashiru. So, Hashiru and Sampo are juxtaposed. And then we have Uta and Utao. And we have Kaku. Right, kaku and tegami. And miru and eiga. What is next one? Oh, they don't have it listed as well. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay. No, they don't have it listed. Okay. So we were given a a and Shashinko delivers on this one. So we don't really need Duolingo here. Shashinko. So you have kaku, the other kaku. So e and kaku. Then we have ongaku. That is a Western style dance. So yobu is a Western style dance, and odori is dance generally. Just because you mentioned it, yeah. Odori is the one that I'm referring to. Yeah, don't have onbu lotus. However, onbu is closer to tiaowu. Tiaowu. It uses wu for dance, but the other one, it's kind of like they broke it up in half. Like there's half and half. Like if you took the kanji from odori and put it with the other kanji for Western style dance, you get tiaowu, like closer to tiaowu, which is dance. Chinese. Well, we'll get to that when we get to that. Yeah, odori is the one that I'm looking for. Yes. Well, thanks for the spoilers again, Lotus. Way to spoil a 1,000-year-old language. Kidding. Okay, so we also need to know. Unfortunately, they did not include the other one. Or yeah, so it's Tanoshi. So they used the Tanoshi character. So Tanoshi, so ongaku. Ongaku is paired up with the Shinbun character. Oh my gosh, it's a little too close. So okay. Alright, Kiku. How many languages do I speak? I can comfortably tell you that I speak two. I mean, I don't mind trying to speak Japanese every once. I also don't mind trying to speak Mandarin once in a while. But generally speaking, when lack of a better word, generally speaking, when people ask how many languages do I speak, I would probably just say two. You recently learned Chuomo, which means to leap through the air, and also uses that kanji. Oh, interesting. Yeah. English and Fujianese. Fujianese is my other spoken language. It's exclusively spoken, not written as well. Actually, that's kind of funny because tiaowu has an element of jumping. like the phrase put together. But that's wu, the second part of 跳舞. But when you think of 跳舞, which you'll probably find out on your own, 跳舞 has an element of leaping, like bouncing around or 跳ing. that's all I can really say about, like, 跳 is kind of like you're kind of like bouncing and leaping and like moving around. That's why 跳舞 sounds like dance to me every time I hear it. So that's kind of funny. It's still the same character that deals with dancing. Lotus. All right, so let's what else we got here? What was this? Oh, this is our new counter for flat things. So we have my for flat things. So we have ichimai, and I guess nimai, and hyakumai. Hyakumai. What are all these other numbers? Maybe all these numbers are just attached to mai? I don't see any other use for these numbers. Yeah, so I'm guessing they're just adding sanmai. Actually, yongmai? Yongmai? Okay, so no change there. Gomai? No change at all. What about jiumai? Okay, so no change. Nanmai? Alright. Okay, so no changes in among these numbers. Interesting. Man, Mai is a pretty baller counter so far. Obviously, we saw Roku and stuff, so this is good. And then non-Mai. Yeah, exactly. That character literally means leaping. Yeah, jumping. Yeah, exactly. That's what my ear says about jumping. So Lotus is by the way, in case it's not obvious, I'm looking at two different chats right now. And Lotus was Lotus tends to relay me Japanese things, and then we find connections. Also, Lotus is learning Chinese now, right? Right, Lotus? You get to spoil Jungwen now for me. What do you mean I get to spoil Jungwen? Why would I need to spoil Jungwen? You spoil that on your own, okay? For knowing Japanese. That's your fault. It could also be Ippo. Oh, which is like one step. Yeah. Ippo. That, oh, true. You're right. This could be Ippo. Oh, okay. It's not Ippo, but it could be Ippo. Totally true. And do you know why I know Ippo? Lotus, please tell me you watched this. If you haven't, then we can't be friends anymore. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Alright? I'm kidding. You're sorry you don't know? Oh no. Ippo. Ippo Makunochi. Ippo Makunochi. That's where Maku comes from. Actually, my original, all my handles are Makunochi, and the character's name, the character's given name is Ippo. As in the anime Hajime no Ippo. Which now I understand what that means. Like, as opposed to knowing what it means, like just the English translation, I know why it's Hajime no Ippo. So that's how I know about Ippo. Fun, huh? We're finally here. I can finally talk about the anime that inspired my approach to life. Is very, very emphatically like the character Ippo. So there's another one. It's not a show that anyone can pick up. It's also one of the longest running manga in Japanese history, so it's still running now, but it's one of the longest running manga. So there's that. And the show is it's on the long side. It gets renewed like every 4 or 5 years, which I'm expecting to hear another announcement of another renewal at some point. The very first series was like 96 episodes long. It's a boxing anime. Anyways, self plug for a personal favorite, I suppose. Okay, so we have Mai, and then we also have, which looks like they didn't add the other character as well, which is fine because we have Shashinko. We also have Shashinko to help us out here. So we have Sashin. Right. Which we already know from Shashinko. Right. And it's paired up with Toru. And I think that's all our vocabulary for today. Actually, it's not too bad. So why is it not too bad? We only have to remember one new character. Let's see. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Only 3 new characters in this. 3 new characters, but no new words, because all of these are not new words because of the way the Duolingo works. We know all of these words already. We actually know over 2,200 Japanese words by their sound alone. So 3 new characters in their usage. Everything else is a repeat. Oh, 4. I forgot about my. So my the right side of Gami. So Tegami. We already know Te. Like Tegoro. Tegoro is a great example. You can use Tegoro as a reference. So Tegami. Sanpo. The po is from somewhere else, and then san. San is something we have to remember. And then e is weird. E is gonna be probably one that I drop potentially. And then ongaku, just the on. Oh, actually, no, I don't actually need to know ongaku. No, they're related. It's fine. So 3, just 3. The joys of learning things elsewhere. The joys of learning things elsewhere. Why do Japanese add extra letters after a kanji when it's just one word? That is the most weird part of it for me. Yeah, it's part of the writing system. So since this is the one where it breaks apart. So these things are how you conjugate the verbs, but you don't conjugate verbs technically in Chinese, which is kind of nice. It's a different thing. So every time there's like hirakana, like these extra letters, they're for conjugation purposes. It's part of, or one of the major uses is for conjugation. And then the other use is for particles. So they use a hybrid writing system to mark and make their sentences explicit. Like, is cat a verb here? Cat. Oh, this is kaku. This is for right. Cat is this, which is still the same in Japanese. Cat is this. This is neko, but this is kaku, to write or to draw. Sorry, to draw specifically. It's more like to draw, and so it's a verb. Yeah, this is a verb. So predicates have these little Japanese exclusive hirakana for to conjugate for. Yeah. Uo utau is a nice example why it's needed. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this one. So these two, basically this one right here. Exactly. Yeah, that's literally what Tali just said. Lotus. Yeah. So this is the verb to sing, and this is the song, right? And then in Chinese, you need context to know if it's ge or like part of changge or ge or like and it's kind of like if you had chang, do you know if it's part of changge or chang or ge? In Japanese, they end up adding things to distinguish between them. It's also true for adjectives too. Lots of adjectives. So instead of saying like, what's a good adjective? Like 漂亮, right? 漂亮, 漂亮 would be whatever. It's whatever tense you need it to be. 漂亮. Instead, in Japanese, you can specify if it's past tense or present or polite. I mean, or it's linked to something. So when it doesn't help. I think I chose the wrong one. Kirei just happens to also be nakana. What's a good one? Like oishi. Let's do oishi. Oops. I don't know why I'm picking oishi, but fine. This one's gonna be confusing in Chinese actually. So oishi. So they add these things at the end, right here, because you can conjugate it. If you took this in Chinese, it would probably still, I mean, this is not, I don't think this is sensical in Chinese. However, like this word can stay on its own and you don't have to like really conjugate it. Really. You get the idea, is used as a root. Yeah, and Japanese conjugation needs to add stuff. Yeah. And then the last thing, if you ever see these things, sometimes these characters are next to something. And it's used to designate parts of the sentence. Parts of the sentence. So there are things that deal with parts of the sentence. Like prepositions, for example. Or like relations. I guess prepositions does indicate preposition. Like relations. I think relations is a better one. Like for example, kara. Instead of chong, right? Instead of chong, right? Chong. The character is not coming to mind. Instead of chong, you would have kara. And this would be Japanese. It would be kara, as opposed to like another character, like a kanji thing. And they prefer to use certain things like this to break up the relationship between words. So when you're reading a sentence, you're gonna randomly, like as a Chinese person, right? Like a person who's reading Chinese, you'll encounter instances of these words next to these characters. Kanji as to designate like relationships. The sentences, the words and relationships. Like instead of having oh no. Wait. No. like instead of like for example having her, right? Like and, right? And just stay as her. Japanese have to. Wait, to, like this character. And this character stays like that in the sentence. So they reserve specific things, relational things, with their own characters, as opposed to having a character that they're using for other words, or like other expressions and whatnot. So, he could be in something other than and. Yeah, he. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Wrong. Oh, sorry. Wrong character. My bad. This character. Yeah, he, right? Or and. My bad. He. Honestly, kudos to Japanese people for being able to create a writing system more difficult than Chinese. Yeah, honestly, when it comes to the writing part, that's fair enough. But sorta, yeah. I mean, like, okay, hear me out here. When you read a Japanese sentence, it's less complicated because of the writing system. When you're speaking it, there's a lot of extra things, right? So speaking, Chinese is very compact, but in Japanese, you'll have to add all these like extra things in it, right? It's kind of like English where you have to add prepositions and articles and whatnot. English is even on a deeper end of adding extra things in the speech. But when you're reading it, it's less confusing. So it is more difficult to learn at first. I suppose it's extra things to know, but it's easier to read, in my opinion, because it marks more relations. So you do less guessing than Chinese. Chinese is really compact. So speaking becomes like very, very, I almost want to say efficient. Japanese is kind of like middle of the road, and English is just not efficient at all. If I had to like compare them on a spectrum, like reading, yeah, I don't like, I'm reading prepositions. Over the overuse of prepositions in articles may seem like a redundancy in English, while Japanese, their writing system is very specific that they are going to use those. Yeah, you are actually right. There was a study about it. Yeah, like it's so clear. It's like super clear. And I get what you mean by it's difficult because it's very rule heavy, right? It's a lot more stringent. It's a lot more stringent. And then Chinese have a lot less syllables because there's less in it, right? There's less in it. And Japanese become longer because of it. And then English is just excessively lots of new things. So what Duolingo has given me the impression of when I'm translating back and forth is every time I have to translate the other way around, I lose words in the process. So like if you take an English and then you translate it to Chinese and Japanese, I'm like, all right, that's fine. That's cool. And then when you go from Japanese to English, you drop a few things. And then when you go from Chinese to English, you drop even more things. And it takes me a while to think like, okay, I'm missing some words here in English. But here's the caveat, right? As a person who is very used to Chinese, like just listening to Chinese in general, I don't mind English speakers dropping those words. Like they're to me a little less essential, but they will sound weird. Like my parents don't use helping verbs at all when they speak. They legitimately, like, it's the very classical Chinese thing to drop helping verbs when they're learning English. Like, I sorry, right? I sorry explains that they are sorry. Like I am sorry, but I sorry is fair enough. Like, you know, right? I ride hospital, right? I go hospital as opposed to I go to the hospital. Right? I get car, go hospital, as opposed to I get in a car to go to a hospital. You're like, nah. You lose all those words in between. And honestly, I'm really used to that, being around my parents and all quite often. And in Japanese, you still get a little bit of those things. I think Japanese still captures that. So every time you're thinking about like the relational words, it's in Japanese. And that's when you're going from Chinese to Japanese, that's where you see it too. So I haven't done it before yet. I'm actually kind of curious if there's a Chinese course for Japanese people on Duolingo. I'm actually very curious. But like Japanese people learning Chinese will probably have that somewhat of a experience, which I'm going to ask Lotus, because Lotus is an English speaker who, in my opinion, has acquired a substantial amount of Japanese, and he's going to learn Chinese. So I get to ask him how he feels when he looks at Chinese and like the particle system getting dropped, like all this stuff getting dropped. I get to like converse with him on how he feels when all of this stuff gets dropped all of a sudden. And then you're using like la, you're doing things like la, and then compounding things like I don't know, xiang yao, yao, like the difference between xiang yao and yao, like different degrees where they slap together the words, just like literally slap the words together, as opposed to using a way to modify degrees and stuff using conjugation. So it'll be interesting. And of course, we can't ignore that outside of Japanese and Chinese, you have languages like Spanish, which relies almost like the bulk of Spanish is like the bulk of Spanish studies is conjugate. Like conjugation rules. Like if I had to say what is the equivalent of learning kanji and hanzi in the end game in Spanish, in my opinion, one of the equivalents in terms of like where you're like gonna invest a disproportionate amount of time is the conjugation system, which I actually think Japanese conjugation is a wonderful, like more efficient like version of the Spanish conjugation system, which of course the English system kind of has a little bit. I mean, the English has a little bit of everything, so whatever that, however that is, right? They have more exceptions than they are rules, and at this point, as a non-native in English, I still feel the pain of deciding on in, on, at, and in Chinese it's just yeah, jai. Exactly. That's literally what I mean by yeah. And in Japanese, in, on, at, like those words, those type of relations are really specific. So like you don't interchange them very much. It takes time to not get them confused, because from an English speaker, it can be like feeling. You're in on something, you're at something, you're up something. But in Japanese, you have to get it right. Like it's not ni, it's de. It's not no, it's he. That kind of thing. But in Japanese, it's like really particular, right? It's very particular. In English is willy-nilly, like whatever. Oh, you guys want to say on? So do you ride in a car or do you go on a drive? Is it in March or is it at November? And Japanese doesn't feel like that. It does add to extra things you need to know though. It does add, but once you know them, they're like, if they could like break open a sentence very, very easily. So I really appreciate it, but at the same time, I totally get it. And in Chinese, yeah, you don't have to do any of that. And I'm still waiting on Lotus's opinion on that. Good talk. This is awesome. Like I love talking about all of the 3 languages all at once, really. I can't wait to also talk about Spanish, but I need to review my Spanish beforehand, and that's gonna be like another 6 months down the road. But I can definitely start relating Spanish to all of these. Anyways, let's see if I can remember the things I need to. Okay, so new vocabulary. It's not too bad. It's not too bad on vocabulary. So we have ongaku. I told myself I don't need to remember this. Do ongaku. Right? And tano. Okay. So tegami. Right? No, that's the wrong radical. Tegami uses this radical. Did they do that on purpose? Isn't there another one that has a similar... No, it doesn't. Okay. It's fine. And then we need to know sampo. The left side of sampo. Probably all of sampo. Sampo and e. Sampo and e. Okay. E. Oh, e is the radical that's being reused. So how is e, and how can I relate e to tegami? They're both related to kaku, a different kaku. So I can actually use that as a memory technique. So they're related, and I just need to know the different radicals. So tegami and e both use the same radicals on the left. They're both related to kaku, different kaku, which I already know both kaku. And then tegami is paper, dealing with paper. And then e, for whatever reason, using that, which is kind of hard for me to know how that is related. But that's it. All the other ones are review. Oh wait, and nondescript counter. I forgot about my. There's a high chance I will forget my, but I'll think about it. Oh wait. Oh, I got a mnemonic, I think. No, I don't, because I'm looking at sample. I forgot about sample. No, I don't have a mnemonic. It's just key. It's key and the right side of sample. There's no way. It's fine. Flat. We just gotta think of something flat, right? I don't know how I'm gonna we'll remember. And then sample, there's gonna be a chance we're gonna drop sample. Well, it's nondescript. All right, now we're good. Worst case scenario, the most common things that are going to be dropped is either sampo, the left side of sampo, and mai. And I'm You might be thinking, why do I keep saying this to myself? The more I say it to myself, the more I'm complaining about it, the more likely I'm going to remember it. All the other ones are automatic because we already know all of them. Basically, if I can say it to myself in Japanese, or say it to myself in Chinese even, or say it to myself in English, I will be able to remember the rest of the vocabulary. Okay. Not too bad. Today is a very refreshing Japanese lesson. No grammar. I did not see any grammar things that I have forgotten. It's kind of nice that they threw in a Tay form every once in a while. I could convert all these things to the Tay form, but I don't think I need any. So u is te. So u is te. We have miru, which is an ichidan. We already have kaku as ku, so ite, ite, ite. Let's see. Hashiru ichidan, probably. Hashite. Kaku, probably the same as the other kaku. So ite. And then we have oh wait, there's another. We missed one. And I don't know what it's oh yeah, it's not category. No, we missed a predicate. I'm just gonna guess how it's written because it's actually slightly different. So water, and then more water, and then there's like an extra stroke up here. So let me look. It kind of looks like that. And that's not listed either. So let's look at Oyogu. We miss Oyogu. So let's look at the stroke order for Oyogu. Wait, everything is connected, okay? Everything is connected. Oyogu. Oh, okay, so it gets kinked. Okay, and then you start with the top stroke. Okay, fair enough. So Oyogu, the reason why I thought of Oyogu, because I thought of Sampo and Hashiru and Sampo, it's linked with swimming. When you know, run, walk, you also swim. It's a like fitness thing, like track and field and whatnot. So they went with water and then put a stroke up here. Then they do this kink. And then that's for Oyogu. Oku. Oyogu. Is there anything else for hobbies? We're talking about hobbies. Listening, right? Listening to music, right? Ongaku. Ongaku iku. Reading books, okay, or books, or watching movies. Walking, running, singing. No dance yet. No dance. Taking pictures. Good to go. I'm surprised they didn't do the water and more water is very based. Yeah, exactly, right? They add water to water. And I think this is also Bing. Pretty sure this is also Kori. Kori for pretty sure Kori or Bing is similar, but not exactly the same. Bing is like I'm gonna say it looks like this. Yeah, so they kind of swapped it up. No, it's this. They swapped it up slightly. No. Well, they swapped it up slightly. As opposed to this. This is kori for ice. One less stroke. One less stroke, basically. One less stroke. Oh, which also I do have to admit, yeah, it's missing the bottom stroke. And then here's another one. That a recent one, and it deals with hobbies too. They didn't do this though. We have oops. Wait. Yeah. So you have this, right? And then the stroke doesn't have a tail in this. I thought I was imagining things, but it doesn't have this here. They use a go instead. The other one is changed up. So this is for go. So ryoko, this is for traveling. And then you have ryo, right? Ryo. When you look at ryo, this goes up. So there's one extra thing here that is missing in Japanese. And there's things like that. Or here's some fun ones for writing. I think I made a comment about this yesterday. If you have this radical, I love this stuff, by the way. So when you have this radical, right, I'm gonna write it the Japanese way. That's the Japanese way. But in the Chinese way, at least from what I gathered, they do the first two strokes, then they go down and then complete it. So will they look different? Not really, but it is a very noticeable difference when you're writing. So, you know, so this is like 1, right? This is 2. This is 3. This is 4, and then this is 5, 6 for Japanese. I mean for Chinese. But in here, the vertical line in there is actually 4. Or it's 6, sorry. It's hard to diagram because I don't have different colors and spacing. But the stroke order changes. There are various versions of stroke order changes, which may or may not make or break the bank. And oftentimes I keep saying out loud whenever I'm writing, it's like, oh well, that's a different stroke order. It doesn't really matter as much. I hope no one will ever know. No one will ever know, you know? If they're not looking close enough, they won't see me change up stroke orders because of it. It will actually look different because stroke order forces everyone to make similar mistakes, so you can sometimes understand the order was different on someone's writing if it's weird. Sort of. I would say yes if the person is incompetent in one and not the other. Now, that is only assuming that that person doesn't write it both directions. And that, to me, it's myopic. So, yes, I would agree if someone has a dominant writing style. But to me, I'm saying it will be very unnoticeable because I use both. With high frequency. With like frequency. It would make sense, I would say, it's very noticeable if someone prefers to write it in a specific way and it's untrained in the other way. But the difference becomes very, very subtly not there when you understand how weight and order works in stroke order. So the ones that do actually change are less noticeable, in my opinion. Personally, in my opinion. Like, I totally, for sure, for sure, I agree. You can totally tell. And you know what's great about that? You can probably tell the difference between someone who's trying to write Japanese and Chinese, like which one they're trying to write, largely based on the weight and how well they write a specific direction. It's a bit of a meta game though. Not a lot of people like to write anymore, right? I trust that Lotus is going to stay in the writing club here. However, I really like writing. I don't know, Tali, if you like writing or not. The downside of digital writing here is there's no weight. So like, no matter how hard I press, no matter how fast I move, it doesn't change like this thing. If you're using a pen or paper, it's going to be noticeable. So I totally get that though. I totally get that. It's definitely it's even more noticeable when you're handwriting things. There are paint programs that do that though. There are paint programs, not for this, unfortunately. I can't do it on Duolingo's screen and show you that I do have a weaker one. So I prefer, if I had to guess, if I draw the vertical line first. So like in Japanese, right? We're up here now. Whoops. In Japanese, if I draw the vertical line first, I'm more likely to cross the line at equal intervals. I like to draw the lines at more equal intervals. So I am more likely, when I draw the first two lines, the spacing, right? The spacing for the third line is likely to be bigger. The spacing, you can see that it's already bigger. I didn't even intentionally do this. So for me, I prefer, like, if I were to gather it. So now the question is, which one do you think would be less mistake? Well, the question is, are you used to the Chinese way? Or are you used to the Japanese way? Because when you see something that's slightly spaced, it might not seem as weird as something that's perfectly spaced, because it's relative, right? So not only does the person reading it... Oh, I actually don't know. I didn't realize "j". So what is the stroke order change in "j"? "d". The stroke order is so bad, it's difficult, more difficult. Well, no, but we're talking about how it's different between Japanese and Chinese, right? I think it's the same stroke order for both. So yes, stroke order matters no matter what. Like, stroke order matters because of mistakes. We're talking about the juxtaposition between Chinese and Japanese. Like, yeah, but in Japanese, it's written the same way. So that's what I mean by it doesn't matter. I'm not talking about like stroke order doesn't matter. I'm talking about the subtlety between swapping stroke order between Japanese and Chinese. The ones where the stroke order changes is far less noticeable than the stroke order like for both. Like if you try to, like, here, my horrendous one that I don't like is this one, where you feel like changing makes sense. Oh, okay. So you're giving me an example. Yeah, I totally agree. And here's one that I would say that totally would ruin things. Is it the same in Chinese? I don't know if this is the same in Chinese, but these things, when you have lots of, yeah. Like, for example, anything with a lot of like grids, right? So if you have to make a lot of these, so what examples do you have of a lot of these? Whoops. A good example would be, we can take this one right here. Shoal, see, shoal, right? Shoal. If you decide to, like, right? If you decide to do this first, oh my gosh. Like, just think about Like, think about. I mean, that's pretty okay though. That's pretty okay though. Honestly, that's okay. Now that I think about it, it's a pretty good guide. Oh yeah, that one. Yes, anything with this pattern as well, right here. When you don't have a guide for the first one, like as long as you have like that, this guide is really good. Like the right angle guide. It's at first it's a little weird, but I really like that one too. There are lots more, but we're not gonna go into it. It's we're digressing too. But yes, totally. Oh my god, no. We're fine. We were just talking about 跳舞, right? Dancing, 跳舞. The right radical of the wu, that Lotus was also referring to. That one, if you do it out of stroke order, it will be very, very, very noticeable. Or any of the dian. Okay. One last one. Any of these things. Like when you're doing this, then you follow it up with like a box, right? The middle of the box is not so much, but anything with like, whoops, sorry. Like when you're doing something like this, ooh, or anything with these things, these boxes, they're pretty. You draw the grid first. You draw like the box, so then you can like guide it. If you draw the box first, sometimes it works. Sometimes I guess. Anyways, we're gonna wrap up Japanese for now. I think I've talked about these characters enough that I'll remember them tomorrow. I think I will remember them tomorrow. Yep, I have my mnemonics in place. All right, cool. All right, we're gonna switch now. So there you have it, guys. What's a take-home message for Japanese today? It's so much fun being confused and having things to discover, in my opinion. It's fun to connect things that are very similar but different. If you have things that are similar and different at the same time, it may be confusing, but it's also something you can leverage, right? Similar things make you notice different things, and different things make you learn similar things. So my personal plug is that sometimes Japanese and Chinese, it's more than, I almost feel like it's more than 50% of the experience, where if one thing is different in another thing, you're more likely to remember both those things. And then a lot of times, Japanese would have two characters together that Chinese will have two characters, and they would have one overlapping character, but the other character is different. So then you form new associations. And a lot of times now that I'm learning Japanese, I actually leverage most of my Chinese to learn Japanese, and then vice versa. And you can do those lessons a lot of times. And you might be thinking, well, wouldn't that affect the way you read and the way you speak? Well, speech, a lot of times people separate those two inherently anyways. Like you hear something and if you close your eyes and not even think about the characters, you also hear them. And at some point, you can negotiate that pretty well, at least in my opinion. And then when it's a writing system, I earnestly think that the Japanese writing system have something very distinct about it that actually separates it from Chinese. In fact, that distinction creates that new level of nuance. So not only do you have way more tools to build mnemonics off of, wow, I just ended a statement with a preposition. Anyways, you have far more mnemonics to build off of, right? Because like paper toilet, I mean toilet paper, right? Hand paper is reinforced 2 times over because I already have hand 洗手间, right? Bathroom, wash hand room, and 手 it still shows up here, right? and 音乐, right? 音乐, sorry, 音乐. 音乐 works, right? Ooh, or similar, and then 歌, even something as crazy as 美味しい. So 美味しい is delicious, not 好吃, right? Not 好吃. So, but because I know something about 美, like 美国, I relate 美国 to the United States, which is funny because the thing that's funny is lots of people think American food is not delicious. So that's how I actually remember 美味しい being delicious or tasty in Japanese. It doesn't have to make sense to anyone else, but the thing is, you have lots of interconnected thoughts, and that to me is the key to remembering things and constructing things and whatnot. It's very, very cool, and I highly encourage people to do things like that. You remember stroke order, you remember little missing pieces because you have more points of reference. I know that doesn't make sense, fictitious. Don't at me, okay? Don't at me. And then Bing, I know Bing because now I know the Japanese Kori because I know Bing, and Bing chilling is such a meme that when it translates to Japanese, it doesn't quite translate because Kori is slightly different from Bing, right? And the only reason that happened is because there was someone who knows Japanese and I was learning Chinese, and then we compared them. So that's kind of the thing I'm talking about. It's so and this doesn't have to be just Japanese and Chinese. If you're learning French, you can do this with like Spanish or Italian, or like even if they're kind of distinctly removed, I can still relate them. Like English is still my bread and butter to relate both Chinese and Japanese. So the idea that I like to encourage people is when you make connections like this, it's effort. Okay, it takes time, right? I remember, like, I think Tali said they like writing, but it slows down the overall progress, and I totally understand the whole progress thing if your emphasis is on things that don't overlap, right? For me, I don't know what it's going to be like. I can't clone myself and do it the other way, but I spend a lot of time encoding the first exposure, the constant exposure, then having to consider deciding if I will remember it later or not. And then writing is part of that experience. So later down the road, if I can't speak it or hear it or imagine it, I can still write it. And you might be thinking, well, what do you mean you can write something that you can't remember hearing or seeing? It's like I've written a lot of things and drawn a lot of things where the writing itself reminded me of the sound and the meaning, not because I imagined it. I remember 美国 because it sounded like America. Yeah, exactly. 美国 does sound like America. I always remember 所以 because it sounds like so. Like so, as in like English so. Like so, 所以. Like 所以 what? 所以 so? Yeah, 所以 takes precedence. And I always know 谁 because 谁 is 谁, and then you know like 水曜日 because 谁. Oh, and also that's another thing. That's another great thing about Japanese and Chinese. Sometimes you can use your Chinese to use as a primer to get either the onyomi or the kunyomi from Japanese. So hear me out here. Yes, the kunyomi sounds nothing like the onyomi, but it's kind of like kanji and hanzi. If you remember the onyomi, which is very close, like there's some resemblance to each other, between Chinese and Japanese, you will know what it's paired up with. It's kind of like antonym associations, where like if you know bad, you know good, even though bad and good are opposites, right? So a lot of times I use the Chinese to relate to the onyomi and guess the kunyomi from a kanji. Because in Japan, in Japanese, they decided to have more commonly have more than one read, right? For it, and it's a blend of some reads are onyomi, which is resemblance of Chinese, and then kunyomi. So honestly, while here's one last hot take, right? Onyomi and kunyomi is not as fun, in my opinion, if you aren't learning Chinese. Just saying. Just saying. I know that's very hot. That's a really hot take. My thought is, if you're going to need to learn onyomi and kunyomi, and you're like, why? If you want like another significant reason why, one of the reasons is to learn Chinese, because that's the origin of onyomi, right? So to me, it's so awesome. Every time I hear like a read with a character and it's onyomi, my very first thought is, aha, I already knew that character because it's hanzi for the same sound. And that's cool. At least for now. Maybe like in another 2 or 3 years, I'm gonna take back all my words and like, oh my gosh, there's like 30,000 characters and I'm getting them all mixed up. I don't know. We don't know. We'll find out. But right now, I'm having a blast. So I hope that other people are too. Or maybe try it out. You can always, learn a language as your primary thing and then have one as a hobby, right? Just a hobby. So that's perfectly acceptable. I mean, personally, if I had to take a personal take, I wish there was Hujiuhua, right? Maybe somewhere. I would love to learn how to read or write using like I guess you would use the Mandarin system, like the Chinese system to write Fujianese, right? I don't know. I don't know enough, but it's cool. And having conversations like this nonstop, do it for days. It's a really, really fun part about knowing like relatable languages and whatnot. I honestly think I will probably here's a prediction that I'll have. When I start learning Spanish in another like 3 or 4 months, I have an incredible there is so likely that we're gonna be talking about Portuguese so often because people are going to relate my Spanish lessons to Portuguese, right? So and then I already met a bunch of Brazilian people in a different time zone because they're usually like a little bit like in 2 or 3 hours. There's a lot of people who speak uh Portuguese, Brazilian specifically, right? So I look forward to that as well, where people tell me like, oh yeah, but it's this and that's like, oh, that's kind of neat. How does your parents write in Fujianese though? They don't. They're speakers, so they rarely, it's the whole thing, right? Like when you speak a language, it doesn't mean there's not a chance that you might spend a lot of time writing. So Fujianese is entirely oral in this situation. And then when you're reading stuff, it looks like it's Mandarin. So they don't write anything. However, when you go to like Fujianese establishments, right? If you go to like Chinatown or something and you find Fujianese people, the signs and stuff are still in Mandarin. Or like they look Mandarin, quote unquote. They look like Hanzi. And I feel like it's like Hanji being Hanzi, not Hanzi being Hanzi. So it could be that entirely. I don't know how overlapped it is or not, but my general assumption is if I go back to Chinatown, I will probably be able to read those things and then adjust. So like my parents would say something like 面包, right? 面包. 面包 面包 would be Mandarin, but 面包 it sounds different, but I'm thinking of an example where I might be able to see like 面包 and 面包 together. Right? So other dialects still have their own characters. I thought it was very united. I think it's the same. I think. Don't quote me on that because I'm illiterate, so I have no idea. Not until this time. So I would love to go back to Chinatown and see. Because if you wrote it a certain way in Mandarin, certain things don't translate at all. Like for example, we're gonna go into Chinese soon, and I always talk about Fujianese quite a lot. Like che, right? Just to give a quick example, like che, and then the character is che, right? I don't know if I see this, if my parents say chia, because chia is che, chia is car in Fujianese. So if they read this character, is it chia or is it che? And I have a problem saying che. So every time I'm learning Chinese or Mandarin, whenever I have trouble with a specific sound, it's often because it wasn't the sound that is in, like cha, right? Cha, which it's also the same in Japanese, which is kind of nice actually. So a nice example. So cha, that's da. Cha, that's da. Da. And da is a different character. So I don't know if my parents see cha and say da. Because da could be this. Oh, oops, sorry. That's the wrong character. Da could be this. Right? So what is da? That sounds like something else, like da, as in like big T. But it's not da, it's doi da. Doi is not da. So when you have like, oki ocha, right? Ocha desu. When you have those things together, do they swap up the characters or not? Because it would confuse the daylights out of me if even though I'm illiterate, I would have no idea how you would negotiate that. I know from Cantonese, but they use different characters for very similar sounds. Yeah, like that. I think that's what I think, Tali. I think that is more like it. And I'm illiterate in Cantonese, so I have no idea either. I do know what Cantonese sound like. And Fujianese is heavily related to Cantonese. Maybe even more so in its like weird, unintelligible side. Like all the things that are potentially unintelligible in Fujianese from Mandarin is kind of related to Cantonese most of the time. Like Dabinu, right? Dabinu, Dabinao, right? Dabinu is the same word. You don't use I don't know what Mandarin says. Huaguo? It's probably like huaguo, but you don't use that. Like I don't even know what that sounds like in Fujianese. Like I don't know how you say that. Like a counter, like I can't convert it at all. Che and tia, maybe they're close enough. Or I don't know how doi da gets translated. Like I don't know where that came from. Nong going known are two different things. Like known is ji dan. No, like known is ji dan. Known is also small in xiao. I don't. Anyways, we're gonna switch to Chinese so we can like maybe I can think of more examples, but it gets a little crazy. Oh man. All right, folks. That's a wrap for Japanese. Thank you for listening. If you're gonna watch this later, arigatou gozaimasu. Right? Arigatou gozaimasu. Until next time, for you Japanese learners, mata ne, ya ne, and I'm gonna change gears. Right? Usually when I change gears, I'm gonna get up and stretch, and the sun's still up. I'm gonna stare out the window for a couple seconds, stretch around, and get a bathroom break. And I'll be back for Chinese. So let's switch. And I'll be back. Thank you.